All right, Steve Says Boom fans. Here we are again, and today I want to showcase two very special issues. I'm going to be talking about Daredevil. Uh, Daredevil 105, okay? I know that's Moondragon on there. She's been colored wrong. It's in brown. It should be in green. 105 and 106, okay? Strange era for Daredevil at this time. The writer at the time is Steve Gerber. And one has to admit that this probably wasn't a good fit for Daredevil. Steve Gerber did a great job, of course, with Howard the Duck. He did a great job on Man-Thing. He did a fantastic job on the Defenders. But on Daredevil, he's not well remembered on Daredevil at all. In fact, when people think of Daredevil, it's just blanket uniform. There is Frank Miller, and then there's no one else. Hey, I like the Frank Miller stuff as well. But I'm not going to talk or add my voice to the 500,000 people who are always talking about Frank Miller's Daredevil and Bullseye and Elektra and, la la la. What I am going to talk about are these two issues. It's late 1972. And it's specifically important for those of you who are cosmic collectors. Those of you who are tracing, doing your surfers, doing your Thanos, doing your Moondragon, doing your Drax, all those Thanos, all this Silver Surfer stuff. Well, of course, Daredevil 105 is a must. If you're a cosmic fan, you have to have that. It's the origin of Moondragon. And it has a little flashback. One of the panels there, you can see a little young Thanos, although he's been colored wrong. So you've got Steve Gerber writing the issue, but there's a little section in there by Jim Starlin, where Jim Starlin does the little origin sequence. How good is that? Steve Gerber and Jim Starlin in the same book. It doesn't get any better than that. But what I really want to talk about here is, I know the significance of it, and hopefully now you understand it, especially if you're a cosmic fan. You're probably running out to either get this issue or you're planning on getting it now if you don't have it already. But on a personal front, these two issues made me a Moondragon fan for life. I was mesmerized by Moondragon the first time I saw her in the comics. I thought she was a fantastic character, and the origin sequence there. She's taken off Earth, taken up to Titan, where she is trained by the priests of Pama to be more than human, to be special. She has a special role to fill in the universe, and she has incredible powers. Her mind powers are astounding. Her first appearance, of course, in the Iron Man 54 gives you no indication. She's just very one-dimensional. She's just, actual fact, her name is Madame McEvil, and you have no indication of what's going to be going on. But in these issues, we have a fleshing out of her character. And who's there to help with that? It's Mr. Daredevil. So, just as a reminder, this is the first issue we're talking about right here. And this story revolves around a quite evil lawyer, the supposed king of San Francisco, who has determined that he wants to become the complete and utter ruler of San Francisco. Not realizing the powers that he's playing with, he manages to trick Moondragon into helping him. Moondragon tries to enlist him in helping her warn Earth of the Thanos War, and that, Earth may be involved at some point. Of course, at this time, Earth is nothing. It's off the beaten track for the major space powers. And of course, him being just a regular lawyer, he thought she was absolutely nuts. until he saw her undersea base with all its fantastic machines, and he stole some of her technology. The thing is that, of course, there's a misunderstanding. Moondragon thinks that Daredevil is a villain, or working for Thanos, actually. And they have a little tussle here. They have like a little fight there. It's like, whoa! Daredevil acquits himself quite well until, as she can do, she unleashes her mind powers, and see, he's just reeling, and basically he just gives up and says, "Hey, okay." And then it goes into the little origin sequence where she explains who she is. See that page right there? Look at that. There she is in her glory. I love that green costume. I don't know what it is, but even as a youngster, I was mesmerized by Moondragon. Well, needless to say. The funny thing is, obviously Steve Gerber borrowed a little bit from Star Trek in this issue, because Daredevil's furious at her, trying to explain that I'm not a villain, I'm not working with Thanos, how can I prove it to you? Come on. And so Moondragon does her version of a Vulcan mind meld. Okay, it's quite obvious where Steve got this idea from, but it's quite an important section right here, because if you look right there, you see that little section? There she is. Boom. She's having a mind meld with him. And she suddenly realizes, what? Oh my God, you are not a villain. You're a good person. But that's a significant moment. In that moment, she knows everything about Daredevil. Reaches into his inner soul, his inner thoughts. It's quite a powerful moment. Regular humans, of course, can't do that. But in the next issue, I think the ramifications that are seen. And I remember this part as a youngster just destroyed me, because the lawyer comes out, the scummy lawyer, and see, he shoots her with this weapon that she brought with her, and there she is. She's in Daredevil's arms, and she's dying. Awful. You can't do that to me like that. So 105. Boom, you're going to have to go get this if you're a Cosmic fan. So 106 is an issue that shows just how sappy I was. And hey, I admit it, I still am. 106 opens up. Splash page right there. As you can see, Moondragon's in Daredevil's arms. She's dead. Daredevil is shattered. He's like, oh my God. And the lawyer's gloating. The lawyer has taken some of the powers that Moondragon had via her wondrous undersea base, transformed people into super beings. One was called Ramrod, I'm sure. Just do your search, Marvel search on Ramrod, and also another character called the Dark Messiah. And the worst thing of all, of course, is that he brings into being this creature called Terex. And it's a huge, big green monster that just devours energy. Well, completely destroys it. Life, plant life, you name it. And his plan is to use those powers to become the king of San Francisco. He's not really thinking that big. He's not thinking of becoming like the master of the universe or anything. He's just thinking about San Francisco. So anyway, what is it about this issue that got to me so much? It has a very significant moment in here, a couple. Now, here, in this little sequence right here, you can see that Moondragon is not dead. She has used her abilities to slow her life forces down on her heartbeat. She's going on, her heartbeat's like 1 every 3 minutes. Daredevil realizes that, and she says, hey, just take me to one of my machines. I've got like a regenerating machine in my, take me to it. So he takes her to the machine, and to his horror, he can't operate it because he's what? Yes, he's blind. And it would take him a long time to work it out, just by touch. So he says to Moondragon, oh my God, I can't help you. I'm sorry. And it's quite amazing because Moondragon just quite instinctively just reaches out and boom, gives him his sight back right there. And Daredevil is, can you imagine? All those years? Of course, his radar echoing powers disappear, but he gets his eyesight back, And the first thing he's doing is he's looking at Moondragon, of course. And he's so overwhelmed. See a little sequence right there? He's giving her a good hug and he's like, hey, no excuses. I've got to hug you right now because you don't know what you've done for me. And she's like, well, it's okay. Not here. It's not the time and place. Still a little bit cold right there. But Daredevil has been like emotionally, just blasted to the core. He has his eyes back. So then what they got to do, they've got to go back to San Francisco. They've got to go leave this base. That's this undersea base. They've got to go back to San Francisco and they've got to face the lawyer, Terex, and the two henchmen, Ramrod and the Dark Messiah. So off they go. They get transported there, almost instantaneously via a teleportation device. And he pops out of nowhere, and guess who's waiting for him? Daredevil's main squeeze at the time, the Black Widow, Natasha, of course. And it's quite hilarious because she's like, "Hey, wait, when are you going to tell me about your eyes?" And then, wait a minute, who's this Baldy? As a youngster, I didn't quite get the significance of what was going on there, but now as an older person, I realized that Natasha's going to feel challenged by Moondragon. I mean, what female wouldn't be challenged by this magnificent looking woman coming along? Again, this is a testament to Steve Gerber and his brilliance. Yes, he's doing this massive scope. He's famous for his crazy, but here he's dealing with human emotions, male and female. Very powerful ones. A very incredibly multifaceted writer Steve Gerber was. So anyway, Daredevil doesn't do too well. He hasn't got his powers. He's got his eyesight, but he can't fight. He's actually useless in the fight. Quickly realizes that. And he makes a heart-wrenching decision, really, when you think about it. He asks Moondragon to take his eyesight away so that his powers can be restored and that he can save the city. And there's a little sequence right here. Sure, you can see it right there, where basically he's like, hey, take it away. And she's like, I might not be able to restore your eyesight again. He's like, it doesn't matter. I've seen Natasha. That's what I wanted most of all. So, Moondragon, in that panel right there, basically takes away the sight. But as she's doing it, she's upset, because obviously she fancies Daredevil now. She has like a connection with Daredevil. And she says, very well, you shall dwell once more in shadow, but please, Daredevil, recall me. Recall the sight of me also. And then you can see there's a tiny little tear that's been drawn. And Daredevil's like, that's something I could never forget. And then he goes, are you crying? And she's like, no, it's nothing at all. As a youngster, I found that extremely powerful right there. She had been awakened emotionally after all those years being trained on Titan to be more than human, to be this warrior woman, to have these powers and abilities, to have a destiny in the stars, to be someone special. And there she is, down on Earth, meeting this little Earth guy. And then all of a sudden, her heart's all aflutter. And also, the Daredevil is also, quite smitten. So anyway, what I also want to say is that Steve Gerber, his run was not universally loved, far from it. And Marvel received a ton of letters, people complaining, saying, "Oh my God, where is my Daredevil? I don't understand what's going on right now." Steve pushed the Daredevil audience too far, expecting them to read something too crazy. This would have done well in the Avengers. In the Defenders, it would have worked well, but not in Daredevil. Daredevil fans were expecting something else. Understandably, he's an urban character. He's a lawyer. He's very earth-based. This cosmic thing, it just didn't work. I love it. I think it's fascinating. But your true Daredevil fans don't like this era. They will wax poetic forever in regards to Frank Miller and even, dare I say it, Brian Bendis and all the modern stuff that we've had. This era exists. It's out there. It's fun. If you're a Daredevil fan, 100%, it might not be for you. I understand that. But if you are a cosmic fan, you need this. You need this stuff. The issues are a little pricey, especially if you want to get some high grade. You might better find some reader copies. And if it intrigues you, if you like it, then you can go forward, of course, and get the Marvel Masterworks, like from issue 90 and then get up maybe up to 110. That'll cover this little era quite nicely. But anyway, give it a try if you can. If you're unaware of it, it might be quite fascinating for you. But hopefully it's given you another indication. Yes, I'm a little sappy, and I still haven't got over that stuff. I'm still very sappy. But these issues are very important to me. And even to this day, when I read them, I get like a little woo, because I actually know it actually affects me even more today, because now I'm older and I know all the little subplots and the male-female drama. So anyway, enough of that. Get out there, get these issues, and I'll see you next time. Boom!